Hi, beautiful souls. This is Masami. I hope you're doing well. This video is about equinox and the spiritual significance of equinox and what we can learn from it. Equinox is a whole earth event, so it's happening all across the globe. To me, that is already amazing, and we're celebrating it at the same moment. And it's something that we don't want to skip over. It's something that we definitely want to pause and not just celebrate, but really understand the deeper significance of that moment that we as collective are coming together to look at, to experience. And, it's often said that the day and night are exactly the same, equal during that equinox. But it's actually not so. On this supposedly equally day and night day, we're actually having just a little bit more daylight. So a little more light shines. Maybe it could be 8 minutes longer, some places 20 minutes longer, but pretty much all across the globe, we're experiencing a little more light. And that actually, to me, is the deeper significance that we can learn from this equinox. So I'm going to share 4 main things that I have intuitively felt that I wanted to share with you that we can learn from equinox. So number 1 thing that I wanted to share with you is actually share a little bit more light of your internal light with others and people around you on this day. So collectively, we're celebrating this beautiful equinox on the day that is actually not perfectly 50-50 with the light and the darkness, which means to me, it's kind of like we have to redefine what balance is. Balancing is more of a dynamic balance where there are more movements. It's not stagnations. It's not standstill. It's not fixated or the fixed kind of this and that. But on the equinox, it's a day that's giving us a little more light to show the universe is showing us to say, have a different kind of a relationship with the balance. So it's not so stationary and it's not so static. And so see if you could look into today from a different viewpoint where you are bringing in a little bit more light from the outside and you're in fact sharing a little bit more of your light from the inside. And I think that's what actually creates the true sense of the balance, not just the equally distributing the light and the darkness. And number 2 is thinning and opening the veil. So in Japan, on the fall equinox, we actually celebrate and we believe that on this day, the spirit world and this world, earthly world, they come closer and we get to easily cross the river that usually separates these 2 realms. And we get to come together. And I think that's beautiful. And in fact, in Japan, the fall and the spring equinox are both national holidays to celebrate it. But I think to bring back this understanding that the thinning of the veil, the opening of the veil is happening. And we all want to take some time to cherish that, to be in that, and to really understand that we're given the chance a couple of times per year, particularly, to walk across this bridge, to meet with the spirit and not to live from that separation. So I think this day, particularly so important, not only you are seeing the thinning and opening of the veil, but this is the day that is truly a thanksgiving for the spirit world. And so do what you can to celebrate and to have the Thanksgiving on this day, to connect with the spirits, connect with your ancestors, connect with the ones that have passed on. That gives us the light, particularly on this day. Number 3 It's a powerful reset day, particularly for your personal reset. So it's a good day to be realigning, to say, am I in alignment with my soul purpose? Or asking yourself and say, have I been going on this path that is actually shining who I am, my internal light? And if you're not shining your inner light, this is a great day to say, okay, I need to change course, or I need to become a little bit maybe less rigid, or I need to be a little bit more open in this way or that way. So it's a great way for you to revisit the course that you've been taking, especially from your last equinox. So maybe it's spring equinox, or maybe the fall is the last equinox. So depending on where you are that you're listening to this video, you can say, okay, this is how far I've been coming, and I need to reset this. And the resetting is also not just what your soul purpose is or what you've been working on, but it's also resetting your personal boundaries. Maybe you don't need to completely change it, but this is the time to reassess and revisit and say, yeah, this area I can become a little bit more clear in when to say yes, when to say no. Maybe this area I have become too rigid with it, or maybe too tight, or this area I can loosen up a little bit. Okay. So some ways that this is a great time, 2 times per year, that you're given the chance to reassess your boundaries. What a great opportunity this is. And number 4, bringing lightness. And I mean a little bit more from the physical standpoint. So lightening up the load that you have been feeling in your physical body or the environment. So first thing that can lighten up your physical body is to experience the sunlight. I think it's so important that you expose yourself to sunlight every day, even on the cloudy days, even on the day that is snowing or raining. But just to look outside the window, or maybe step out to expose yourself to the light. But particularly on this day, look towards the eastern sunlight. The morning sunlight becomes super important. And clearing your environment always lightens up the space, right? So that's to bring the lightness, clear the way for the spirit to enter easily. So you want to make sure your entry, so the front door and maybe the back door, those entryways are cleared, and windows, if you can, seasonally, if you can, open up the windows and air things out. Airing things out always will lighten up the energy, and the vibration will lift up. And eating lighter foods on maybe 2 days before, or 2-3 days before the equinox, and maybe 2-3 days after, can be a really great way to get back into touch with the significance of equinox, but also to clear some of the densities that we have accumulated, and maybe some of the chaos and the difficulties that all of us have been experiencing. So see if you could lighten up your foods, meaning don't eat things that are too dense, but easier to digest. Maybe finish your dinner a little bit earlier, so that will help with the digestion as well. So those are the things that you can do to bring lightness. And lastly, as you celebrate the fall equinox in the Northern Hemisphere, you want to definitely soak up the last of the summer energy and the last of that light, because you want to take that inward, absorb it, so that you can release and emit that out throughout the winter, the fall, and into the winter months. And really acknowledge what you have been able to digest, meaning take in what you have received, the knowledge and the wisdom you've received over the spring and the summer, and what you have been harvesting also. So celebrate that. And then really pause and acknowledge that that's going to be so important for you for the next several months till the spring equinox. And for those of you that live in a Southern Hemisphere, what you want to make sure to acknowledge right now is that you Acknowledge the stillness and the quietness and in the healing that came from the darkness, because healing actually happens when we are in the darkness. And I've done a lot of videos on this, but the darkness will help you to produce more melatonin. Darkness actually helps us to heal from our traumas and wounds as well. So reflect on that. Reflect on the internal complexities that you went through, but internal healing that happened during these several months of the winter months that you've been through before you begin to welcome the light back in. So hopefully that helps you with the both perspectives, whether it's in the fall equinox, whether in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. And let's do just a short meditation right now together and we'll wrap up. So as you become a little bit comfortable in your sitting, and well, quite a bit comfortable if you can, and then wiggle your toes, press your hands up against your thighs, relax your shoulders. And if it feels comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. And as you breathe in, notice that the light is coming in through your nostrils. And then you're breathing out, exhaling maybe some of the challenges that you've been experiencing, and breathing in the light. And this time as you exhale, release some of the stagnations, rigidity. And as you breathe in and out, see if you could elongate your inhales right now. So you're breathing in about 6 counts to inhale. Pause for a couple seconds. And then exhale out for 4 counts. So we're making an inhale just a bit longer right now, so that we can take in the light. Let's do that one more time, taking in the light just a bit longer than your exhales. And after a pause, we're going to switch. So inhale for 4 counts, 2, 3, 4, hold for 1, 2, then exhale out for 6 counts. And now you are going to release and emit your internal light externally, sharing. All of us are breathing out the light from the inside out. Inhale again. And exhale out your light. So see if you could inhale 4 counts. If you can, pause for 2. And then exhale your light from the inside out, 6 counts. If you want to pause at the end of your exhale, you can, or go right into your inhale, whichever feels just right for you. This is what it is to balance. Balance the dark and the light. Let's do one more. And slowly coming back, opening your eyes, letting the light come inside. So thank you for being here to learn about the 4 beautiful lessons, beautiful wisdom that the equinox is sharing with us. So number 1 is share a little bit more light from within, from you. Number 2, enjoy the thinning and the opening of the veil between the earthly matter and the spiritual world. Number 3 is It's a powerful reset time. So take some time to personally reset your goals, maybe your soul purpose, and also your boundaries. And number 4 is about bringing lightness to your physical body, but also the physical environment. And for Northern and Southern Hemisphere, you have different ways of interacting with the equinox at the different times of the season. But now you can bring a little bit more personalized approach to this. So if you like this video, please subscribe down below and give us thumbs up. We really appreciate it. And if you have some thoughts or questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you and namaste.